The guests and discussions on this show are not endorsed by the show or show host. The content is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Nothing you hear is intended to substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, and/or treatment by a qualified health professional.
Welcome to Health Revolution with V, your integrative health adventure. Welcome to the Health Revolution with V show. I am so excited for today's show. We have a very, very special guest. We've conferenced in from Kansas. I'm so excited to have her here, and I'm sure all of you will be too. Unfortunately, I've got these things on my head, so I have to deal with it for this show. But I am Veronica Kolobab, Eating with V. My website is eatingwithv.com. You can find all of these shows, this show and every other show at my website or on all of the podcasting platforms that you found also on my website. And without further ado, I really want to introduce this amazing woman because it's a rare occurrence to have somebody like her on the show. And her name is Michelle Nicole. She has a company called Unicorn Spit. And as an introduction to her, she went from an unemployed single mom to becoming a prominent world-recognized arts and crafts community leader. So exciting. And I can't wait to hear her story with you. Michelle Nicole is a prime example of goodness bringing success. She has been featured in the New York Times. She authored a best-selling craft book and continues to engage with and guide a vast community into releasing their inner artist and just simply feeling joy. So we're going to talk about a lot of great things with her today. Without further ado, welcome Michelle Nicole. Welcome on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining us. I am just so excited to jump right in, and there's so much to talk about with you in such a little bit of time, so we're just going to dive on in. And if you could please, can you tell us what Unicorn Spit is and all about your story? Because it's a very fascinating story. I'd love for you to share that with us first.
Well, Unicorn Spit is an art medium for every artist that basically ever was. Sounds goofy, but me being an artist, when I need something at hand, like I'm adventurous, like I'm always dabbling with different things. I don't just do watercolor or just refinish furniture or do kitchen cabinets. I'm like want to do everything. And so I invented an art medium that all you need is one thing and a few clear catalysts, and you basically have a whole art store in your palm of your hand.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is cool because I really like doing watercolors and I like doing alcohol ink. And, if you buy 5 or 6 colors of every type of art medium that's out there, you're looking at thousands upon thousands of dollars, where this breaks it down to just maybe 100 to have every single color that you can possibly imagine. Well, maybe 200. Every single color that you could possibly imagine in every art medium that you can imagine as well. So it's a really cool thing. And as to where it came from, what was your question? I kind of lost my mind there for a minute thinking of my art projects.
Well, first of all, I think that's super exciting that people could have a non-toxic, amazing product that they can use across so many different mediums. Like there's so many different arts that they can do with that. But tell us how it came to be. Like, how did you come up with this idea and how did you bring this beautiful thing into creation?
Well, it was about year 2010. I was working for an adult daycare, being the activities director. I had just went through a divorce and I had a very stressful job, and I was like, forget this. I'm just going to go work for an adult daycare doing arts and crafts. And I needed to heal. It was very upsetting to go through a divorce, especially when you have 2 small children involved. My son was 2 and 4. Both of them were, I had 2 sons. I have 2 sons, 2 and 4 at the time. And I was just having a good time at the daycare, and I loved taking care of them. I had done it off and on since I was just a teenager. I used to come up here to Kansas and work at that adult daycare. on my summer breaks. And so when we were working on doing things, they really wanted to do arts and crafts. I wanted to because I've always done arts and crafts, but they weren't very interested in it. Like some of them were, like macaroni art and stuff like that. But the men, they didn't want to be involved in it at all, and they're just like, oh, this is boring. This is kid stuff. And so I was at my wit's end trying to get everybody involved. And one day I was driving down the road and I saw a little desk on the side of the road, and it was white and it was shaped really pretty. And so I pulled it into the back of my truck that I had, brought it to the daycare, had the guys help me carry it in, and I said, "Hey, would anybody like to teach me how to refinish um, this desk? Because I need a desk for my little office." And they were like, "It was crazy. It's like all the men, like you just saw them. It was like some type of light entered their body. I don't know what it was, but it was something it was miraculous." And so I was so excited. And so that was like, well, they're like, well, you're going to have to take this paint off because it's real wood. And so I went and bought like a stripper, everything they told me to do. And I took it outside, and with some of the more able men, they helped me use a product to take it off, and we had to do it outside because it wasn't very clean stuff. Stripping furniture is not very clean, so we couldn't do that inside, but we got it naked. And a few of them were like, okay, well, we can use a sander. And so Austin in his little wheelchair was out there sanding, and we had Johnny Boone out there too, supervising. And it was really cool that all the men that normally would just stare and watch TV, like The Price is Right, or just stare at the wall, they chimed in. It was like this light turned on. And so time came and I brought it inside and I said, well, now it's time that we have to color it because I don't want it to be just brown. And the men were like, oh my gosh, we just went through all of this stripping and got it down to this bare wood. It's so beautiful. And you just want to slap plastic on it. And I was like, well, what else can I do? Because I want it to be, I don't know, like firecracker red and all these different ideas. And the ladies were like, oh no, I think it should be purple and I think it should be pink. And one of them were like, I think it should just be all the colors. And I kind of like that idea a lot. And so because all colors matter. And so I went looking for a really brightly colored stain, and there was none. Like I brought home some that we would test, and you took 3 or 4 or 5 coats in order to get the color that I was anticipating, and they stunk. They smelled horrible. They were very, very toxic fumes. And so I went home one day whenever we were still in the design idea process of this, and I started playing in my spaghetti pot. And I played with all kinds of stuff like juices that had color because I knew it had to be non-toxic. I knew that it couldn't have a toxic smell. And those were my biggest things. I needed to make sure that if it got on their skin, it wouldn't kill them, because I don't want anyone to get hurt. And so I
Yeah,
did.
you want to make sure it's
them.
not toxic for sure, right?
Yeah, because that would be awful. Like these people have lived for a really long time, and I don't want to be cut it any shorter. And so I was like, okay, well, I played for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, and I finally came up with like this dazzling, super duper red. And I made this like black, like so black, because I didn't want to do lots of color, lots of different coats. And so I brought it in and we did this desk with it, and we clear coated it with some low VOC clear coat that I found on the market. And it turned out just so freaking beautiful, right? And everybody, you could see everybody was just like, they all have something broken about them, hence the reason they're at adult daycare. They're elderly and disabled adults.
Mhm.
And you could see that it made them feel just beautiful, taking something that was like so ugly and making it into this beautiful thing. And they were like, well, when are you going to get another piece? Because I'd really like to make something for my grandson that I'm just getting ready to have, or my daughter, or graduation. So that became our thing. And I'd go to like the thrift store or just drive down the road and find a piece of furniture and bring them in, and we would all work together and make them beautiful. And as time went on, I created more and more colors for them. Well, once everybody got all the colors they wanted, or not all the colors, but all the pieces, like they still wanted to make, but everyone's like, we don't need any more stuff. Um, I was like, well, let's just continue making them and let's see if people buy them on Craigslist. This is before Facebook Marketplace. And so we put them on Craigslist and they would sell. Like people were like, oh my gosh, because everything that was listed on there of people who are painting furniture and redoing decor and things like that was this white, white or brown or Java. And so this really stood out. So it was made for the more eclectic person and it fetched a higher price because I wasn't competing with anybody else. We weren't competing with anyone. We were the
Yeah.
only one doing these elaborate colors in 2010.
Michelle,
So from
we got
2010,
to Michelle, we got to stop you real quick, sweetie. We're so sorry, but we got to take a quick break. We definitely want to hear the rest of this story, but we got to take a break for our commercials, and then we'll come right back, okay? We'll be back in just a moment, so stay tuned. Don't go away. And these are the people that make this show possible, so please hang out, listen, and we'll be back in just a moment with the rest of Michelle's story.
Beach Bowls is a family-owned and operated cafe located in beautiful downtown Fort Pierce and St. Lucie West. They offer delicious homemade smoothies, bowls, sandwiches, and salads made with fresh food from local farmers. Visit beachbowlsfortpierce.com.
Have you been told that you need to cut way back on sugars due to a health condition? Do you find yourself struggling to give up the sugars even though you know your health depends upon it? If you answered yes, my online Hidden Sugars class is for you. Take charge of your health and visit eatingwithv.com and take the class.
Apex Electric is a family-owned and operated, licensed and insured electrical contractor with over 30 years of experience. No job is too big or too small. With free estimates and a 1-year warranty, Apex Electric is your premier contractor on the Treasure Coast. AAPEXelectricinc.com.
This is Elaine R. Davis
and Annette Robbins with the Real Team at ROG, Engage, and One Lux.
We are top producing real estate team on the Treasure Coast and proud supporter of V.
Contact us with any of your real estate needs or questions.
For more information, visit ElaineRDavisRealtor.com.
And let us be the key to your real life paradise.
Welcome back to the Health Revolution with V show. We are so excited to have Michelle Nicole with us from Unicorn Spit. She was talking about this amazing story on how she came up with this product, and now it's like this worldwide sensation. It's so exciting. Non-toxic art medium. But we're going to get back into what we were talking about with her. So welcome back, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great to have you. So I wanted to hear more about, because as you were talking about the senior adult daycare and how this idea came to be, that's like really more of the like art therapy kind of thing. So can you go a little bit deeper into that? Like how did that, because I understand like that it engaged the men, but is there more art therapy that you're doing now with people? Like what kind of things are you doing now that are engaging these communities that you have?
Well, we still are currently working and send lots of products to different adult daycares as well as, any type of therapy places and autism charities and different things like that, because it really does. With the ability to be able to use your hands to manipulate the product because it's non-toxic, with the different type of techniques that I came out with where you don't need to hold a brush, it's helping people increase their range of motion as well as, get their ideas going and brings them back to zero for their cognitive memory. And it also has helped a lot of people who do have sensory issues get over the whole idea of the sensory thing of the smells and things like that are off-putting, because they are aromatherapy infused as well. So it's got lots of different ways that it helps people with their bodies and their minds and therapeutic for them with the color therapy, the aromatherapy, the sensory therapy, and just as well as just exercising your mind. And it's something that we do every day.
That's so exciting. And I know this is your passion, as we had talked about this before you even came on the show. So it must be so exciting to see your dream come to life and be able to help so many people in the process.
It has been. Every day I get emails and handwritten letters. I have a lot of people who contact me all the time and tell me, what a difference it's made in their life, and that makes me feel, I don't know, just amazing, because it's what stretched from our little daycare that we had to close in 2013, which brought me to where we are, and now it's encompassing the whole world. So it's like our little daycare legacy is just going to live forever, and it's wonderful.
That is so exciting. Now, I really would love to talk more. You touched on how the paints are scented with essential oils. Can you explain that more? Touch on that.
Yeah, so each bottle, so we have, just for an example, sorry, I should have grabbed a couple of them. So each of our bottles, now this is a 4-ounce bottles, but they also come in 8-ounce, but they have aromatherapy. So jasmine is in here, and I put them in there because, as I said, some of the guys weren't really into doing anything, and some of them were cranky, and I just happened to toss it in there one day thinking, well, this will help them cool down and lighten up, because jasmine's great for that. And so it just kind of stuck. The sparklings are scented with lemongrass to give you a feeling of energy, and then the metallics are scented with teak wood, which gives you like a powerful, I can do anything kind of feel. It's almost romantic. So I think that really adds to it. And I think we're the only art product on the market, other than the scented markers, that are scented. And this is gauged more towards aromatherapy and less gauged to novelty. So we don't have any that smell like a food.
That's exciting, because it's actually therapeutic on so many levels, not just the art therapy. And so you teach people, like in your groups, can you share some of the techniques that you teach people? Like maybe you can, like you said, without brushes and things. Can you expand on that a little bit more?
Yeah, not everyone can hold a brush. I mean, we've got rheumatoid arthritis. You have people who have lost appendages. You have people who, have sensory, where they just can't stand to touch things. So I came up with, because Teresa, one of my gals at the adult daycare, she had rheumatoid arthritis really bad. And Johnny Boone had multiple sclerosis, and his arms were stuck like this. So I just decided, let's make things abstract. Not everything has to look realistic or perfect. So one of the big things that a lot of people just really love is you can just take your colors and put them out where you need them. Then you mist it with some water, because they all come in the concentrate. I don't sell water. That's another key thing. Mist it with water. Then you can put a piece of plastic over the top, mist that with water, and use your hand like a slip and slide to maneuver that color all over. And whenever you pull the plastic back, either one way or the other, or take all 4 corners and pull it up right and straight, you get so many different unique designs that you probably could get with a brush that would take weeks and weeks of work, whenever you could just do it in just a few minutes. So that's one of the best techniques that a lot of people use, and really makes anybody an artist, regardless of your mental or physical abilities.
That is unbelievable. Well, we have so much more to talk about with Michelle. We do have to take a quick break so that we can hear from our local commercial sponsors. Those are the people that make this show possible. So we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away. We have a lot more to talk about with Michelle.
At Your Body Bliss, our passion is creating handcrafted bath and body products for your entire family. From our hand-poured soaps and authentic Castile soap to incredible lotions and more, all made with ethically sourced quality ingredients. With love from our family to yours, yourbodybliss.com.
The Health Revolution with V Show is your hub for all things integrative, holistic, and natural health on the Treasure Coast. If you are in the natural health arena and would like to be on the show and or advertise with us, please visit eatingwithv.com and click Health Revolution with V. Is your insurance company telling you that you have to replace your roof? Nice Roofing is a family and veteran-owned and operated local business. Choose peace of mind and quality work with this Owens Corning Platinum Certified contractor. Join thousands of satisfied customers. Visit niceroofing.com.
The Porch Factory is the #1 screen company on the Treasure Coast. Right now, we're offering screen repair. For $99, you'll get a screen inspection twice a year and first priority service if a storm comes. Enclose it so you can use it. Visit theporchfactory.com. That's theporchfactory.com.
Welcome back to the Health Revolution with V show. We have the greatest guest. She is so wonderful. She's given us so much information. We don't have a ton of time, so I want to bring her back on so that we can talk about a couple quick things because we have a very short amount of time left. The time goes way too fast, Michelle. So
I know.
It's too fast. All right. So if you can give us tell everybody how they can find you. Like if they want to follow you and learn about your art, like give them some of the places that they can find you besides just your website, but give them your website too, but all the places that they might be able to follow you.
Okay. Well, we've got unicornspit.com, which is our brand name. All the Unicorn Spit products are manufactured by Eclectic Products. I'm no longer making them in a spaghetti pot at home. They have a full range, and you can see it's right there on the thing, and we could do glass, wicker, all of that. But if you'd like to see it in action, you can follow me at on Facebook at Michelle Nicole's Artistic Vivations, and that's where I like to be, where I just kind of let loose, and you guys can follow along on my home remodel where I've done my kitchen cabinets and all the artwork, hardwood floors, everything in the whole home. You can also find a group. We have the Unicorn Spit Q&A, and that has over 90,000 members, I believe now, where everybody is posting what they did, how they did it, and we're coming up with new and new discoveries every day. The other way that you can really connect with me and my product, I wrote a book. It's called The Unicorn Spit User's Handbook, where you can find all of the different projects that you can do, from glass to fabric to wood to canvas to even mixing it with epoxy, you name it. We pretty much have done everything, including I'm going the wrong way, including wedding dresses. So that just gives you step-by-step instructions. You can find it on Amazon. You can also find it at michellenicoles.com. Now that is my store if you wanted to try out Unicorn Spit or any of my prototype colors, because I'm still inventing more colors. That's where you can find all of my products, my book, and be able to connect with me as well. And of course, we have YouTube, which you just look up Unicorn Spit, and you should find the Unicorn Spit YouTube, where we have myself as well as Mark Montano from HETV and the DIY Network, where we do projects and bring them to you so that you guys can do them too.
I love it. So there's so many ways that you can reach Michelle Nicole and follow her and do some art therapy with her, do some home renovations. I mean, her products you can use for just about anything, non-toxic, scented with essential oils for therapy that way. How exciting. Thank you so much for coming on, Michelle. It is such a pleasure to have had you on the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It was wonderful. And I love everything that you're doing, because nutrition and health is so, so important. And I'm glad to have somebody talking about it.
Thank you. And I'm happy to have your non-toxic, amazing products that are actually therapeutic for people, because it's people like you that are part of this network that I want to build here for us all, so that we can have so many resources to keep ourselves healthy with everything that's going on today. So thank you again. And don't forget to hang out and come see us again on the next episode of Health Revolution with V, and I will look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much for joining us.